Hey guys, what's up, Zach? So today we are here with another Extreme F1 video, and today we are here to do the Senna 6th gear challenge in Brazil, because many years ago Ayrton Senna got stuck in 6th gear at Brazil and he managed to come home and finish that race, and that's exactly what I'm going to do today. The first lap I'm going to be going around as normal, using gears as normal, and then on the last 2 laps of this race what I'm going to be doing is just staying in 6th gear for the whole lap. It's going to be very tricky, but it should be a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. I've just got to say, I got this idea from Daz. He did this video a couple of years ago actually, I think on F1 2012, so I'm going to leave a link to his channel down below because I had this idea from him. I saw his video and thought it would be really cool to do this challenge for myself, exactly what I'm doing here today. So here we are, lights out and away we go in Brazil, and we're going to have a pretty good first lap I assume, but after that it's going to be very tricky. 6th gear this whole lap is going to be pretty interesting to say so at the least here, but getting to the lead was the most important thing here, because once I'm in the lead I can sort of control the race in a way, but I'm not going to be doing any silly moves or anything. I'm not going to be doing any, like, you know, push people into walls or anything to make sure I keep the position. I'm going to make sure I defend aggressively, but not over the top, so I make sure that I try and complete this challenge as best as possible. Now, I think Daz did a 20% race when doing this, or a 5-lap race, I can't remember exactly what, but I'm going to try and make it a little bit more possible to win this race, I suppose is the right way to say it. If we're doing a 3-lap race, it might make it a little bit more possible to win it than if I do a really long race where it's probably unlikely that I'll win. So as always guys, if you want to try this challenge for yourself, remember to record it and upload it to YouTube, and then link it in the comment section of this video so everyone can go and watch it for themselves and see if anyone can complete this challenge. I'm not too sure whether I have a disadvantage or an advantage it being in the rain. I'm not sure whether it's good because it means that a higher gear means that I've got more traction out of corners, or it's at a disadvantage because I'm just generally sliding all over the place and the AI will be able to cycle through the gears more efficiently. But I'm not sure whether it's good or bad, but we'll shift up to 7th gear. You'll see in a second here. I was a bit like, what should I do? So I'm going to shift up to 7th, then as soon as we hit the start finish line I'm going to shift down to 6th gear like that. So it's like I've got a problem. I'm going to be staying in 6th gear the whole of these next 2 laps and try my best to bring home a result here today. It's going to be a very tough one, but it should be interesting to see how I defend from Rosberg, who is rapidly decreasing the gap to me now. You can see the gap is just coming down and down and down, but once we get to these long straights I can actually have a bit of an advantage in some parts of the straight, because I can actually use the 6th gear how it's supposed to be in sort of medium high speed parts of the track. But parts like this bit we're going up to here, which is tight, you know, tight and twisty, it's going to be pretty tough here. Like corners like this you'd be normally using like 2nd or 1st gear, and using 6th gear isn't exactly ideal. The car's sliding all over the place on the curbs, doesn't help exactly as well, but we are still leading the race, which is good, and Rosberg is right behind us now, and Hulkenberg, who's had a good race, he's still in 3rd place after starting. I think he started on the front row of the grid, didn't he? So Hulkenberg programmed to be amazing in this game as he is in real life at Brazil, but we are trying to just hold on to this first position. Hulkenberg might actually be a saviour that not more cars are actually coming towards us here. And at this point of the track, we're trying to go side by side with Rosberg. He sort of backs out of it there. I'm not too sure whether there was contact there, but I definitely did leave him enough racing room there. So if there was contact, I don't know whose fault it really was. But anyway, let's just move on to the last lap of the race here. And going down the gears, well, not sorry, going down the speed into turn 1, I should say, it was very tricky staying in 6th gear, because obviously when you're in a higher gear, the car wants to go fast, whatever speed you're going. So like, if for example in a road car, if you're supposed to be in 3rd gear and you're going in 4th gear, the car will, generally go faster because you're in a higher gear which can go a higher speed. Hopefully I explained that alright, but hopefully you guys get the gist of it anyway. So Rosberg right behind us, and actually Hulkenberg, the other Nico, is right behind us as well. I don't know why the person in 4th place has dropped back so much, but we have actually got a decent gap over them. But the 2 Nicos right behind us here, and it's going to be incredibly tough now. 2 people right behind me. I'm going to have a terrible couple of corners here, and that sort of not quite hairpin going onto the sort of long curving straight, if that's even such a thing, down to the start finish line. This corner right here, it's going to be tough to get the momentum through here, because I think this whole race was about keeping the momentum up through the slow corners. And you can see this is the part now. Rosberg, is he going to get alongside? But then we get into the sort of 160 mile an hour region where this gear is actually working well, and then we get to about 180 where its gear is a bit too low. So we're basically just cutting the track as cleanly and as finely as possible. We actually end up winning the race, and wow, I honestly thought that might be a bit more tricky, or a bit trickier than it actually was, but we defended well. I suppose we did, in a way, have a dominant car. So if you guys want me to repeat this challenge in maybe like a Ferrari or a Williams, let me know in the comment section down below. The general reason why I always use a Mercedes for these challenges, because it's going to be hard in the first place. So I wanted to give myself a bit of a chance in the Mercedes, which is probably about half a second, 7/10 of a second faster than the rest of the field. So that's my general idea about this whole series. But if you want me to start doing it with cars lower down the grid, let me know in the comments, as I said. And yeah, so we managed to complete that challenge once again, so that's good to see. And of course, leave your comments down below, and I'll leave a link to Daz's channel in the description of this video, so you can go check it out for yourself. But yeah, again, another win for us and another challenge completed, which is good. But yeah, let me know your comments and thoughts down below. It's been X, I'm out here. Goodbye.